We are almost 1 week into the new year. And if you are starting a new exercise habit or routine, or you're starting healthy habits, and you start out really strong, like motivated and like into it and excited, and now you're starting to kind of feel that wane a little bit. The novelty is starting to wear off some. Maybe you've been exercising and you are so sore. Like the soreness is unreal, and you're starting to struggle a little bit. You're starting to waver. Maybe you're realizing just how much all these things are starting to impact your schedule and time and energy. Maybe you have like a boost of energy, but you're also like kind of tired, and you're starting to kind of struggle in that in between spot. I know exactly I know exactly where you are. I have done that so many times. And sorry for the car video, you guys. I went for a walk and did all this stuff, whatever. Um, I just had to film this really quick because I know what it's like. And I had talked about this in a previous video. I had like some sort of nerve issue with my hand, and so I had to take a break from resistance training. I couldn't hold any dumbbells. So I just started a few days ago, and I am so sore. And I'm just like, oh my God, I need to get past all this. And the thing that I always come back to, the thing that always seems to help me is knowing that this is just part of it. This slump is part of it. It just keeps showing up. You keep figuring it out. And the other thing is that sometimes you have to just adjust things. Like maybe the program you picked doesn't work with your schedule quite well, or it doesn't quite work with your schedule or with your energy level or with whatever. And the beautiful thing about starting is that you now have such an ability to just tweak things because you're new, and that means that whatever exercise you're doing is benefiting you in some way. In the beginning, you have all this opportunity to really figure out what your schedule is like, to figure out what your energy is like, to decide what kind of exercise you like. You have the chance right now to really stack the deck in your favor, to make it more sustainable, to make it something that you can stick with. It's so, so important to not judge yourself right now. It is so, so important to be like, yeah, I'm sore as hell. I'm going to take a day to just do some really good mobility and stretching to let my body recover a little bit and then get right back to it. You have so much opportunity to explore, to be curious, to figure out where the kinks are and sort those out. And it's taking that action, even if it's different than you imagined, it does not matter. It's taking the action in a way that suits you. You're not conforming to anything. You're trying to find how it's going to fit you and your schedule, your energy, etc. It's all about you, you know? And that's like the fun part is acknowledging that this is all just for you and doing whatever you need to do to make it work that still fits with how you are as a person, and how your life is right now. And things are going to change. Schedules change, life changes, like whatever. It's all going to be fine. It's all going to be fine. And it's just figure out how to make it work for right now. And still, again, even if the action isn't how you thought it was going to be, even if maybe you aren't working out as much as you are, or you have to change the types of workout that you're doing, whatever it is, you're doing this for you, and but you're still doing something. You're still doing more than you were before. You're still establishing the habit and focusing on the habit and how that's going to work for you first before getting into the other nitty-gritty, before getting into goals and getting into all the things that tend to cloud your head. Like those things are going to happen. Those things are going to come. But for right now, it's the habit that matters. And so even if you need to do things a little bit differently, like for me, I was talking about how I just started working with dumbbells again with my hand. I'm doing way lightweight because I want to make sure my hand's cool, and because this is a long game. So I'm not worried about busting out like lifting heavy right out of the gate. No, no. I'm making sure that I'm good. I'm making sure my form's good. I'm making sure that I'm doing what's right for my body and for me first. And as I get established, as I get these things going, then I can start to implement the rest of it. Now I can start looking at the goal. Now I can start thinking about why I'm resistance training to begin with, or any kind of outcome, desired outcomes that I want. Right now, no, it is all about figuring out the best way for this to work for me and the best way to work for you. Because that's what it really comes down to, and you keep showing up, you keep doing it. Some changes of plan are totally fine. In fact, that's favorable because that means it's sustainable. That means it's going to be something that you stick with. It means something that you'll actually enjoy instead of it being just a complete slog, which in the next week or two, it may start to feel that way. And you could just push through, and that's awesome. There are some times where you just have to push through the slump, and once you get to the other side, you're all good. But if there are like logistical problems in there that are making it really hard to take action or really hard to keep you in that habit, then start to look at it. Because a lot of the times, at least for me, because I struggled a lot in my adult life to consistently exercise. But the last 4 years, I have. And what the problem for me was in the beginning was how much effort it takes to bring healthy habits to the top of mind. Like that actually takes a lot of energy, a lot of mental energy. And so when you're trying to like redo all this stuff in your life, you're trying to recalculate your schedule and the way you're going to eat and all that time on top of just the mental energy of trying to figure out how to make it all work, it just adds an extra layer. So we can kind of reduce some of the layers in the beginning because this is a long goal. This is a long game, And even if your goals can be reached soon, that's not even the point. You're still going to keep going, You're still going to keep taking care of yourself. And taking care of yourself, that's where the love is, right? And I had a hard time I had a hard time taking care of myself. I had a hard time with self-love and confidence and all of those things. And I just, I have such an appreciation now for the confidence and the self-appreciation, the body connection and body appreciation through that exercise has supported, or wait, that exercise has afforded me. And I really wish that for everyone. Because we don't get to take care of ourselves. We don't get to do these things. And I feel like it'd be such an easier process if we could just figure out like a good spot in terms of schedule, in terms of everything, without the pressure. Without this pressure of feeling like we have to do it perfectly, we have to do it just right, we have to do it this, otherwise, with this threat of otherwise we will not reach our goals. You're going to get there. You're going to get wherever you want. Without the habit, you never will. You got to get the habit. You got to get consistent, however that means to you. Don't listen to anyone else in terms of, how do I want to say this? It's important to understand, like, exercises and, like, especially if you're lifting weights, you want to understand your form. But also, like, you're the one that lives in your body, and just try to really tap in to listening to it so that you can take care of it in the best way, because that all snowballs. Taking care of yourself just snowballs. So I guess I say all this to say, do what's right for you right now. And if you're at a point, or if you're getting to a point where you are thinking about throwing in the towel because you feel like you're not doing it right, you feel like you're not doing enough, you feel like you feel like it's not worth it because you're not doing it the way you thought you should do it, bring it back on the inside. Do it differently. Think outside the box. Don't just bring it back to you, and bring it back to the inside. Bring it back to you. Because there will always be people to tell you it's wrong. There will always be people selling you a program. There will always be people selling you stuff. When really, if you can find a body connection, if you can work within your own life and your own lifestyle. Listen to you first. Take advice, take tips, take whatever you need that will apply. Anything else is just fluff and a distraction. And I heard I heard this quote that said, expectations are premeditated resentment. Woo! Woo! Don't worry about the expectations right now. Take care of yourself first. Anyway, that's all I got from somebody who was really, really bad about taking care of themselves. And every time I would start something, I would get really frustrated and let myself feel like garbage at some point in the process. If that's you, this is for you. This is for you. Mwah. You got this. And we'll talk soon. And yeah, this light, I'm going to have to adjust. The sun went completely down, so I'm going to need to adjust this. Anyway, take care. Happy training. See you soon.